Today, I'm going to be building a rig dedicated to salad. And I'm going to be taking some old parts, some discounted new parts that I bought from Amazon Prime Day, like a Frankenstein bit of a rig, to try and see if I can get a profitable rig set up for salad. So I'm going to show you start to finish how I'm going to build this rig. And then if you want to learn more about what salad is and how you can get an account set up and all that, check out the video I'm showing on the screen right now. I will also leave it at the end in some cards so you can click on the link if you want to. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get right into the build. First, we're just going to assemble this frame. I got this from Amazon. A lot of this stuff is going to be Amazon affiliate links. I'll mention kind of each one as I go, and I'll show it on the screen. That way you guys know what it looks like if you want to build this rig. I wanted this to be a start to finish guide for someone that wants to build a rig like this for salad. What I like about this is it's going to be versatile. I have a decent CPU. I have a decent amount of memory, DDR4, and the GPU I'm using today is going to be this old 3070. I want to use this. I want to put it to use and make some money. So we're going to try the 3070. But the cool thing about this rig, like I said, is it's versatile. I can take this 3070 out and swap it for something like with a little higher gigabytes. This is an 8 gigabyte card, but I've found some 3060s on Facebook Marketplace that have 12 gigabytes. And there's tons of other options. All I got to do is swap the GPU out, point it at salad, and make some money. I bought this motherboard off Amazon as well. I'll show it on the screen real quick, and I'll leave an Amazon affiliate link in the description. What I like about this is I already had what I needed for this exact motherboard. Everything seems to be working out perfectly. I had DDR4 that works fine with it. I have a Intel Core i5 that is 7th generation that will work with this motherboard with the proper socket. I have 512 gigabytes of memory. I'll show that on the screen real quick too. So everything that I have will work really well with this. The graphics card is X16. There's 2 slots of DDR4. That's enough for what we're going to be doing for salad. So this to me was a very decent budget-friendly motherboard. So I'm going to go ahead and, like, I lined up the holes already. I marked them. You might be able to see it in the video, but I already marked it with a marker, but you guys can do the same. You just size up where your holes go for mounting. Now, if you're going to use a CPU cooler, keep in mind, some of them you need to mount a like a bracket on the back of the motherboard first. See these holes right here? So you might want to do that before you mount it to the frame. So, but the first thing we're going to do is get these little standoffs set so I can mount the motherboard, and then we will, take a look at the CPU cooler and the CPU and everything and attach it. We'll build this thing start to finish. Got the standoffs mounted, and I'm not going to mount the motherboard yet, but I just wanted to show you, it lines up perfectly. So next thing we're going to do is just build the frame itself. It's pretty easy. I'm not going to show you the whole thing on camera, but there's 5 screws on the back here. So 5 screws that screw the frame together here, and then there's 2 support brackets that are shaped like a triangle on the side. There's 4 screws per side for those triangles. So I'm not going to show that on the screen. Just put the screws in that are provided with the kit, and then we will mount the motherboard to the frame. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mount the motherboard now that we've built the frame. Okay, so motherboard's mounted. It didn't come with the battery, by the way. So this is going to take a CR2032. There we go. Let's go ahead and mount the brackets for the CPU cooler, and then we'll install the CPU. Sorry to interrupt your video, but a quick word from the sponsor of the video, Crypto Miner Bros. Crypto Miner Bros has the best brands and the latest miners available. We've got brands like Bitmain, Canaan, AlphaPex, Ice River, IB Link, Gold Shell, you name it, they've got it. And if you're looking for a great deal, use discount code GREATER for $70 off your order. Check out the latest miners they have, and also check out their offer section. They've got tons of great deals, like, for example, the Canaan Avalon Q Bitcoin miner. Bitcoin right now, while I'm recording this, is $122,000. So a 90 terahash Canaan Avalon Q silent home miner would be sweet to have right now. So check out Crypto Miner Bros. Don't forget you can use discount code GREATER for $70 off your order, and use the link in the description. It is the official link. Thank you again to Crypto Miner Bros for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to your video. Okay, just gonna flip the frame over with the motherboard on there. Now that we've got everything attached, and we're just gonna pop the CPU cooler bracket into the back of the motherboard so we can mount the CPU cooler. I'll show the CPU cooler on the screen. Like I've said kind of several times, some of the stuff I picked it because it was a good deal on Prime Day. Nothing wrong with this thing. Like I said, it's overkill for what I think we're going to be really doing this, needing this for. But I think it's better to have more than enough cooling than not enough cooling. So you can see we're going to mount these brackets right where the holes are right there. So give me 1 second. The stickiness has wore off on the back of this. This usually would hold in place on its own, but I might have to put a little more double-sided tape on there or just hold it with my hand. So next step, you see like the brackets will be mounted for the CPU cooler. Got the brackets mounted to the motherboard for the CPU cooler. Like I was trying to show you guys, it was kind of hard to hold that while I was video recording. So you'll have like better sticky tape when it's brand new, and it'll hold to the back of the motherboard while you're trying to set these screws in there. So next we're gonna go ahead and pop the CPU itself in, and I already had this opened up, but it was because the CPU cooler the bracket gets in the way a tiny bit, but you can kind of see how it just slides under there. So we're gonna release this little plastic like placeholder just by pushing down on that pin there, and you slide the latch out of the way, and you'll see kind of it slides back away from that screw, and you can flip it open. And then we're going to take this placeholder out. Like I said, it was on there pretty good, but after a minute, and just pop that plastic piece up, and it came right out. So just be careful. The issue I had before when I was working on some of these rigs that I wanted to build was that I bent some pins. So just be super careful that you don't bend any of the pins on the motherboard itself. That can be very frustrating. I tried to fix it by bending the pins back straight. It just didn't happen. So be very careful when you're placing your CPU back into the socket here. Okay, wish me luck that I don't bend any pins. When you're going to put this in, you'll see notches. There's only one way you can really go. Don't try to force the thing in there, because that's when things go really wrong. So I'm just gonna slap it in there real careful. All right, should be good. Should be no bent pins. So we're gonna put the holder back in place and just slap it down. Make sure it's underneath that screw right there. And it's gonna be gentle. That's gonna be push the pin back down, or the latch back down. It's kind of hard with that bracket in the way. It's like not a lot of room to work there, but there it is. So I'm not going to paste this yet. I'm going to work around it. I'm going to install the other components, the RAM, the wiring, things like that. I'll probably put the CPU cooler on last, because this thing is just this thing's crazy. Like, I mean, like I said, it's pretty excessive, but whatever. It was cheap for Prime Day. It's still pretty cheap today. Like I said, it gives me a lot of wiggle room. Next, let's just install the DDR4 RAM. Okay, so let's pop the RAM in. Now, the cool thing is, I mean, for this motherboard, it's just 2 slots. If you have a different motherboard and you're building a rig like this, just make sure you check in the manual to see which slots the RAM should go in. Sometimes it's like staggered, like if there's 4 of them, it might go in the 1st and 3rd slot. Just check with your motherboard's instructions. And I would highly recommend downloading the instructions for this motherboard from Amazon if you do decide to buy this one, because it's kind of like an off-brand motherboard, and I've had stuff like parts from Amazon, like a couple years later I go to check and like they're gone, like this manufacturer might not be around forever. So I would highly recommend downloading the PDF file for the instructions on the motherboard. One more thing I wanted to mention is this motherboard, it supports 2400 megahertz DDR4 RAM. And these sticks, they're 3200 megahertz. So shouldn't be a big deal. A lot of times it'll just downclock it, since this is like overkill, 3200 megahertz versus 2400 megahertz. So just something to keep in mind. Like I said, I bought this stuff Amazon Prime Day. It's still a pretty good deal, but you might be able to get cheaper RAM that will work, like 2400 megahertz RAM instead of 3200 megahertz RAM. So you just set it in. And it does take some pressure to push it down for it to engage. So it's a little bit of like a tense moment while you're pushing that down. But that's locked in. Next, we'll go ahead and install the 512 gigabytes of the NVMe memory. If you haven't installed this type of memory before, there's where you're going to pop it in, and there's a little screw right here. We're going to unscrew this all the way. Okay, remove that little screw, and then this will just pop in. And it's weird because it's like on an upward angle, so just be careful not to jam it. There we go. You'll see, and see how it sticks up like that. You know, you just need to push it back down, and then you're going to put your screw back right there. Okay, there we go. M.2 NVMe is installed. Okay, next I just installed the power supply. It's pretty easy. Just you're going to be plugging in your motherboard and CPU connections here off the power supply, and this is how I mounted it. And it's kind of like there's not much more room to mount a power supply any other way. This is a really good power supply, by the way. EVGA 1000 watt Gold Series power supply. Like I said, I'll leave a link to that in the description, the Amazon affiliate link. And easy mounting. This, I love this rig, this like frame, super easy. Screw there. I'm going to put a screw in there, and that's it. So next, I have to take a look at the PDF manual to install the power button that comes with the kit. Okay, back in the computer, and here's the motherboard layout and the PDF for the instructions. And then see this little gray arrow here? We're looking at it from this perspective, like where the arrow's pointing. And down here, you can see this is the way the arrow's pointing. So our power switch that we want to connect is the 2 dots here, 2 pins here. And then the other pins are for like resetting the motherboard, you know, if you wanted to reset it, but we're not going to install anything there. You know, LEDs and things like that. So these are the 2 pins we're concerned about here. Make sure you check your manual to make sure that this is the same motherboard, and they change things, you know, with different, like manufacturers can change things with different batches. So please confirm with your instructions and your own motherboard which pins are the power pins that turn this on, because you can damage your motherboard if you do it wrong. I'll show on the screen real quick the way mine is set up. Next, we're going to mount the CPU cooler, and you guys might have noticed earlier I had these brackets mounted this way, and I didn't realize my CPU cooler width, like the screws are set a certain width, so I had to change this. So if you were watching the video, the reason why I did it that way earlier is because I didn't really want it to block my ability to pop the CPU out without having to take these brackets out, but it's no big deal. Same with the battery for the CMOS. I'd rather have them mounted this way, but I don't really have a choice. So anyway, long story short, if you're using the same exact setup that I'm doing, you'll have to mount your brackets like you see right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and, I already put thermal paste on the CPU too. So I used Arctic MX6. That's just because it's what I had laying around. You guys might have seen some of my other videos where I was like overclocking KS0 Ultras and things like that, repasting the thermal paste on my Ice River Caspa ASICs. So I had this laying around. It should suit just fine for the purposes of cooling off the CPU. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, like screw this down. It's hard to do while I'm shooting. You'll see when you go to screw this down, there's only 2 screws, and I had to take the middle fan out here because that's to get access to the screws that are down here. It's a little cumbersome to work with. Okay, we're back in the computer, so I can show you where the CPU fan needs to get plugged in. So 4-pin CPU fan right here, and I'll show a picture on the screen of where it's actually plugged in so you guys can see. It's a little tight against the power supply. So just be aware, you might have to take that screw, 1 or 2 screws out to move the power supply out of the way again to plug in the fan. We should be ready to go to start this thing up. I'll plug a monitor into it, and then we'll boot it up, and it should enter the BIOS because I don't have any like operating system loaded up on this thing yet. Just in case it doesn't, if you guys wanted to know, you can spam the delete key on your keyboard and it should bring you into the BIOS. So let's connect a monitor to this. Let's power it up and keep the fingers crossed. If you guys are looking for a monitor like this, I bought this also from Prime. I'll leave the links, like I said, to everything in the description, and you guys can check it out. All right, I've got everything connected. Everything should be ready to go. So I've turned the power supply on. Now we just got to hit the little button and see if we can get this thing rolling. So count down with me. 1, 2, 3, do it. All right, fans are kicking on for the CPU and the power supply. All right, there we go. Showing the name of the motherboard. Let's see if it goes straight into BIOS. If not, okay, cool. So no biggie. Reboot and select proper boot device, or insert boot media and selected boot device and press a key. So I do have Windows on a USB, and but I might want to just check out the BIOS on this real quick. If there's anything interesting, I'll show you in the next scene here. If not, I'll skip showing you the BIOS, and then we'll go straight into loading up Windows. Okay, we successfully got Windows loaded up on the NVMe. I rebooted it straight from the drive, and I took out the USB stick. So successful Windows install. Now we're gonna update drivers, install the graphics card, and then we should be able to download Salad on this computer and get it chopping. Okay, here's that junky 3070 without the shroud on it. Unfortunately, the 3070 that I'm showing, like installing this section of the video, it wasn't working. I kept getting tons of artifact on my monitor. I'm gonna have to look into that problem eventually, but for now, I'm using a 3070 Ti that I know to be good. So let's try this 3070 Ti out on Salad. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this one-handed, but you guys get the point. If you've ever built the GPU mining rig, you know how it goes. But if this is a brand new process to you, you're just gonna need to slide this down, and then see that white lock over there. Once you push this down, lock that in. I'm going to put a screw in the top right there that comes with this frame, and then after I pop that in, I'm going to power up the computer again, go to NVIDIA's website and download the drivers. If you have an old rig and you're using an old motherboard, you got an old card, you might have to update drivers. I loaded up the drivers for the 3070 Ti from NVIDIA's website, and everything's running smooth. Now I'm going to go to my affiliate link for Salad. So I'll leave the affiliate link for Salad in the description of this video. If you want to check out that other video, like I was telling you, it's of the setup guide for Salad. So go ahead and set up your account using that link. You're going to click login, and then we're going to download Salad to my new rig that I just built. So we're going to click on download. Waiting for install. Sign up for Salad now. So there you go. Hit agree. I agree to the terms of service. And then you're going to punch in whatever email you decide to use. Then hit submit. Now it'll say a verification code has been sent to the email that you had on file. So go ahead and punch in the verification code that was sent to your email. Then we'll hit submit. It says fetching a few ingredients from the pantry. And now we are logged in. Let's pick a target reward. Let's go ahead and go with Amazon.com $10 US dollars gift card. So they have tons of different options. I go over a lot of them in my other video, but you guys will see there's different rewards like PayPal and Amazon. You'll see. So don't forget to install Salad in your download tray. Like I said, that's where we're going to launch it from. So let's go ahead and download the latest version of Salad. Okay, we're going to click I agree. And we're going to go ahead and let it do its thing and install itself on our fresh build. Okay, so it's saying reboot now. You can manually reboot later, but I want to get this show on the road. So reboot now and finish. Okay, it rebooted. We're going to go down to that drop-down menu, open Salad, click log in, and it's going to say connecting to Salad, and it's going to say connecting to the kitchen. And then once it's done its thing, we're going to hit setup PC. Okay, so once you hit setup PC, it's going to recognize your graphics card. Unfortunately, it says your GPU is in low demand. The 3070 Ti is in low demand, but you can earn with different graphics cards. I am building this rig as a budget rig to show you guys how to do it. I don't plan on leaving a 3070 Ti in here forever. I'm going to be upgrading that graphics card. System RAM is sufficient. That's why I built it this way. 32 gigabytes is able to run most workloads. So it's also cool to check out the demand monitor. Let's open that up. So demand monitor shows you what is in demand, and you can set up notifications. So see over to the right, get notified for high demand jobs like 4080 Super, 4070 Ti Super, high demand, making like, you know,
10 cents, I think, an hour or something like that. 4090s, moderate demand. 4070 Ti's, moderate demand. Unfortunately, we scroll down to the bottom, and that's where my 3070 Ti is in low demand. So check out this Salad Network monitor, and I'm going to consider getting a higher end card so I can plug it into this rig and make some more money. That's the whole point of me doing this. So hit continue. Let Salad automatically select the best performing workloads for my PC. That's what I'm going to do, but I do change some things, and I'll go over that in a little bit. For now, I'm hitting Let Salad automatically do its thing. I already picked a target reward. I don't know why it's asking me again. It actually, I think it reverted back to Amazon. There you go, Amazon.com. Okay, let's minimize this page, and then we will continue setting it up. Click Finish Setup. And then it's prompting you to click down on the little icon down in that, like drop down menu, the bar at the bottom right of your computer. So it's going to prompt you if you need to update drivers. It's prompting me saying I need to upgrade drivers because I was switching out graphics cards and things like that while I was doing this video. So click on the Salad icon. It's telling me Salad is degraded, and I will update the drivers, and then I'll get back with you guys in just 1 second. They made it super easy to update the drivers. Now we can chop. So I'm going to hit chop now, but we should look into some more things. I'm going to check my chopping power. You see how it says 3 out of 4 right there? If you want to have it 4 out of 4, you can change some things around. But in my case, I can't until I let it run for a certain amount of time. So now it's saying 4 out of 5. So I need to chop for over 50 hours a week to achieve Star Chef status. So what's Star Chef status all about? If you chop for 50 hours a week, you'll receive priority for high paying jobs. So it does pay to try and keep your rig up and running. And they know that a lot of people are using Salad to try and just make a little extra money when their computer is down. But I wanted to build this rig purpose built so I could run Salad as much as possible so I could get Star Chef Salad status and maybe get picked for some of these high performing jobs once I get a better graphics card in this rig. There's a lot of different things you can do to optimize Salad. I'll try to touch base on some of them right now. If your antivirus software is preventing it from running, whitelist Salad in Windows Defender. If you want to make sure your PC is running on Salad all the time like I do, disable sleep mode. Auto start is for if you're chopping only when in idle. You can have workload preferences. We'll go over a little bit of that, and it changes basically what you want to activate. You want to activate CPU or GPU or both. Let's click into it real quick and take a look. So right now I have CPU enabled and my GPU enabled. I want to be able to use both to earn some money. Storage, I'm increasing mine to 250 gigabytes from 150 gigabytes because I have extra storage on this NVMe. So I'm going to go ahead and let them use it. This is a purpose-built Salad rig. Allow elevated permissions. You should click learn more here on elevated permissions. It will probably get you higher paying jobs, but you have to take the risk if you want to take the risk. I have Salad set up to automatically pick what's the best performing for my PC. And then you can manually change things, as you can see right here. Tons of advanced options. Also, you can set time up for certain times where you want to chop and certain times where you want everything to shut down. I was actually excited because I saw while I was shooting the video that a Salad was actively running a job on my hardware, but then I realized I did select mining as an option. I checked the usage of my RTX 3070 Ti. It said 100% usage. I checked the power consumption, and it was over 400 watts. So somebody was mining using my rig. I didn't really want that to happen. So real quick, I want to show you guys how to disable that mode that I was telling you about. If you want to leave it on, that's up to you. I don't really want to have crypto mining enabled on this rig. I don't want somebody pulling that many watts. So I just go to performance, go to configure hardware, and then I've got CPU enabled, GPU enabled, maximum storage 250 like I told you. I do have elevated permissions enabled. That's up to you guys. Like I said, I recommend you clicking learn more to figure out if that's something you want to do. It says that it's rare, but bugs can kind of cause things to glitch out. There could be a job that shows up.
and then never shuts off, and you know, like, it's just something you need to look into yourself. Workload types, like I said, you can configure things manually. I'm letting them automatically select some things. Let's go to advanced options here. And then I'm not going to bother with the schedule because this is a purpose-built rig for salad. I'm going to let it run. Auto stop, don't have to worry about that. Crypto mining, this is where I decided to disable it because I had it enabled when I showed you guys the 400 plus watts it was pulling. As soon as I clicked disable, that job went away and never came back. So that's where you can disable it if you want to. It's up to you guys. I just don't want to run my rig that way. So right now, Dell is looking for a job compatible with your hardware. The demand comes and goes. You should sign up for notifications for your graphics card. Then you will get notified when there's high demand. I set myself up for notifications for a 3070 and a 3070 Ti, but if I have like a series of different cards that I can swap in and out of this rig easily and I know it's in demand, I might consider doing that as well. You can set up notifications for that kind of thing. I have to look and see which graphics card I want to upgrade to. Let me know what you think. Would you guys buy one of these cards purpose built for salad rig? Even though my 3070 Ti was in low demand, I woke up this morning after setting up this rig and letting it run overnight, and I've got a job and it's chopping salad. So that's pretty cool that I was able to take these parts that were pretty much bargain basement parts and get a job with AI and computing on salad.
Going forward, I want to know what you guys want to see. Do you want to see me run this for a while, like a couple weeks, a month, with the 3070 Ti in it to see how profitable it is and if I make money, if it's worth it? Because I have this equipment, it's already set up. Do you want to see me chase down different graphics cards to see how profitable I can make this rig? Like, what is the full potential of this rig that I just built? And would you guys like to follow along? I want to know what you guys want to see, because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you guys. If it's so much easier for me to just build a rig and be done with it and not video record it, not show every step and not try to like teach. So this is not for me at all. This is for you guys. So tell me what you guys want out of this salad rig, and I will try to chase it down. And let me know in the comments. Please comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys found the video helpful, I hope you did. Please consider using the affiliate links, not just for salad. The affiliate link for salad will help me out, and especially since it's related to this video. That way they know that you guys are interested in what I'm doing with salad, and I can continue to make content like this for you guys. But also, please use the affiliate links for everything else that you see in there. I've got like Tangent Wallet discounts. This also helps you guys out. A lot of these links in my description and everything are discounts also. So please use my discount codes if you would. I'd really greatly appreciate it. It helps me out more than you know. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. That also helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you like this content. I'm going to keep making content like this where I'm building rigs and trying to make everything profitable. And I'm hoping that it's helping you guys learn also. Last but not least, don't forget to keep it decentralized for the greater good.
The greater good.